Hello and welcome back. Sorry I had to leave all of a sudden like that. Although the episode was kind of long anyway, so, I had a phone call that turned out to be spam. You know how that is. Let's see what's in this box. Whoa! Huh. That might help, actually. What boots am I wearing right now? I am wearing these leather boots that are increasing my... You know what? I might actually do that, because I've been... It's just 5 points. And plus, that's 13 versus 14. This is better, and it's light armor. I'm taking it. This, I'm not. It's heavy armor, and I don't care about the health. I'm fine with my health. And I don't care about that. So let me put on those boots. My shiny golden boots. Where are they? There they are. Whoa, where did I go? There I am. Hi! Look at my boots. Doesn't match my outfit at all, but it helps. Maybe one day I'll find something that matches. I'll take that. Wolf Queen, I don't need that. Bowl that has a whole lot of nothing in it. No, it's got something good in it. Take that bowl so then I can take that. And then I drop the bowl. Because I'm not going to use it. Why would I need it? Bowl. I'll take that. I don't care for that. I'll take these. And I'll check this out for that. I don't care for that or that. I don't care for that. I'll take those though. You know what? I'll take the flour. Just 'cause. And I'll take some potatoes. Just 'cause. Eventually I'll do some cooking. Oh wait, there's this little thing too. Alright, I'm ready to go. Where's my buddy? Kitty! Kitty! Where's my kitty at? Ow. Where did he go? Kitty? Kitty? Zarko? Where'd you go? Where did he go? Do I have to go find him? He's not stuck in there, is he? Uh-oh. Where did he go? It didn't say anything about him leaving my side. Zarko? Kitty? Where did he go? I'm gonna hunt him down. I don't care. I wanna go find him. He's my buddy. First time I actually get a cat with me and I lose him. Kitty! Ow. Wait. That's not the right room. Where is it? Oh, it's this way. Duh. Jazako! This is where all the vampires were. The vampires were this way. There you are! Hi! You okay? I didn't mean to leave you. I don't know what happened. I'm glad we met up. Come on, let's go. There you go. Now we can get out of here. How do we get out of here? Ow. Sorry. This way, and here we go. Okay, now we can go back. All the way back to here. That's a nice bow and arrow. Okay, let's head over to the library and then I'll read those books. What time is it? 6? Okay. I'll read those books and then...
I can't wait to see who succeeds Mirabelle. I've
Whoa.
no doubt she'll be promoted to Archmage at some point.
He brought it here. Huh. Okay, so we're in the library. And before we give it to him, I want to read each book. So, it was this one, that one, and that one. Okay, let's do this one first. On Artaeum by Taris Il Anselma. The Isle of Artaeum is the third largest island in the Somerset archipelago, located south of the Mordunon village of what is that? Is that a B, a D, or a P? That's a P. Patanza? Oh my god, where do they come up with these words? And west of this place. It is best known for being home to the Sigic order, perhaps the oldest oh my god, I cannot speak today, group in Tamriel. The earliest written record of Sigics is from the 20th year of the First Era and tells the tale of the renowned Breton sage and author Vornet, I think. Or Vornet. Could be Vornet. Traveling to the Isle of Artaeum to meet with, I'm not sure if that's Lachesis or Iachesis. I don't know. I can't tell if that's an L or an I. The right master of the Sigics. Even then, the Sigics were the counselors of kings and proponents of the Elder Way, taught to them by the original race that inhabited Tamriel. The Elder Way is a philosophy of meditation and study said to bind the forces of nature to the individual will. It differs from Magicka in origin, but the effects are much the same. That said, it is perhaps more than coincidence that the Isle of Artaeum literally vanquished from the shores of Somerset at the beginning of the Second Era at about the time of the founding of the Mages Guild in Tamriel. Various historians and scholars have published theories about this, but perhaps none but whoever that is and his own could shed light on the matter. 500 years passed and Artaeum returned. The Sigics on the isle consisted of persons, mostly elves, who had disappeared and were presumed dead in the Second Era. They could not or would not offer any explanation for Artaeum's whereabouts during that time, or the fate of whatever in the original Council of Artaeum. Excuse me. Originally, the Sigics are led by the lore master Solaris, I think, who has presided over the Council of Artaeum for the last 250 years. Yikes. The Council's influence in Tamrielian politics is titled. The kings of Somerset, particularly those of Mordunon, I think, have often sought the Sigic's opinion. Oh my god, this is a long book. Emperor Uriel V, I think that is, was much influenced by the council in the early, most glorious parts of his region, before his disastrous attack on Akavir. It has been suggested that the fleet of King Orgum of Pyodonia, I guess, was destroyed by a joint effort of Emperor... Oh my god. You know what? I don't care. The last four emperors, Uriel, that have been suspicious of the Sijics enough to refuse ambassadors from the Isle of Artaeum within the Imperial City. The Isle of Artaeum is difficult to chart geographically. It is said that it shifts continuously either at random or by decree of the Council. Visitors to the island are so rare as to be almost unheard of. Anyone desirous of a meeting with a Sijic may find contacts in Potenza and... what? Runcibai? Runcibai? I don't know. Runkibai? I don't know. As well as many of the kingdoms of Somerset. Were it more accessible, Artaeum would be a favored destination for travelers. I have been to the Isle once and still dream of its idyllic orchards and clear pastures, its still and silent lagoons, its misty woodlands, and the unique Sijic architecture that seems to be as natural as its surroundings, as well as wondrous in its own right. It's an actual huge place. It's a really big island, it sounds like. Oh my god. I want to visit it now. The Kapora Tower in particular I would study, for it is a relic from a civilization that predates the High Elves by several hundred years and is still used in certain rites by the Sijics. Perhaps one day I might return. Note, the author is currently on the Isle of Artaeum by gracious consent of Master Sargenius? I don't know. Of the Council of Artaeum. So how did the book get off the island? I don't know. Okay, so there was that. Night of Tears. Okay. Night of Tears, Draenor Celis. Sarthal holds a... Okay, so I don't know what Night of Tears is going to be about, but the first book was obviously on the Isle of Artaeum and the Sijic order. I didn't mean to click on you. This one... because all of this is supposed to help us figure out about that giant orb downstairs. Sarthal holds a prominent place in Skyrim history, even if most do not remember it by name. It is, of course, the site of one of the first major Nord settlements, one of the first cities of men in Skyrim, and the earliest known capital of this civilization. So Sarthal is the place that we discovered. The whole... wherever it was. The place nearby that we found the giant orbs, so hopefully this will help out. It was also the site of terrible bloodshed when the elves attempted to drive the Nords out of Skyrim, to succeed only in incurring their wrath in the form of Ysgramor and his fabled 500 companions, who swept the elves from Skyrim and firmly established it as the home of the Nords. All this is known, but little else. What happened on that Night of Tears when Sarthal was razed to the ground? What provoked the elves to such a deliberate, vicious act, and what prompted such a severe response from the Nords? Vingalamo's treatise, I think, on the Altmer Anecdent, I think that's what it says, suggests that the elves of the Merithic era, along with their counterparts, the early Dwemer, possessed a degree of sophistication unparalleled in Tamriel. They displayed power beyond what could be expected of the time, while a distinct explanation is not given for this. I believe that this work, compared with the early writings of... what the heck is that, an H? Heseth? Chirirnus? Heseth Chirirnus. Suggests that something greater was at work on that night in Sarthal. The true motives behind the Night of Tears have been obscured to us by the passage of time, but I believe this was not a simple war of territory, or of control of Skyrim. I believe that what happened was a significant event based around something very particular. The Nords found something when they built their city, buried deep in the ground. They attempted to keep it buried, but the elves learned of it and coveted it for themselves. Thus they assaulted Sarthal, their goal not to drive the Nords out, but to secure this power for themselves. I believe Ysgramor knew something of what the elves would find under Saarthal and rallied together his people to keep the elves from gaining it. The Nords once again controlled Skyrim. This power was buried deep below the earth and sealed away. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of the Nords are... Actually, right now, a lot of the Nords are nothing but bandits that just want to steal things that don't belong to them. Because from the sound of it, Saarthal originally belonged to the elves. And I don't know who Ysgramor is. It sounds like he's a Nord leader at the time, and he found out about Saarthal, and he was like, nope, that's ours. It's on our land, it's ours. So, I don't know. Terrorist acts, I'm guessing. Time has kept this knowledge from us, but it is my hope that time will also reveal the truth of these words. Every effort will be made to relocate Saarthal and find that which has been lost to us. Okay, so that was about Saarthal. The last king of the Eyelids. The Eyelids? is that what it says? Eyelids or Eyelades? It might be Eyelades. I think that's what it is. I think it's Eyelades. By Hermania Sina. The Eyelades, or Heartland High Elves, ruled Cyrodiil in the long ages of myth before the beginning of recorded history. One of the earliest recorded dates, in fact, is the fall of White Gold Tower in IE... Oh wait, no, that's 1E, 243, which is commonly assumed to mark the end of the Eyelades. I want to say eyelids. Although Eyelade ruled over all of Cyrodiil, was indeed broken in that date. This was only one of the most obvious stages near the end of a long decline. The first 2 centuries of the First Era saw increasing strife between the great lords of Cyrodiil. Alessia? I don't know who that is. Alessia appears to have taken advantage of a period of civil war, to launch her uprising. Imperial historians have traditionally attributed her victory to intervention from Skyrim, but it appears that she had at least as much help from rebel Eyelade lords during the siege of White Gold Tower. The popular image of the Eyelades as brutal masters is based, in fact, of course, but it is less well known that a number of Eyelade princes continued to rule parts of Cyrodiil after 263 as vassals of the new Empress of Cyrodiil. This suggests either that Eyelade rule was not universally detested, or that Alessia and her successors were more pragmatic than is traditionally believed, or perhaps some of both. In any event, excavations at a number of Eyelade sites show continued occupation and even expansion during the so-called late Eyelade period from 243 to 498. At first, many Eyelade lords continued to rule as vassals of the new human regime. In some cases, Eyelade supporters of Alessia were even rewarded with new lands taken from slain enemies. It is not clear to what extent human slavery continued under the Cyrodiilic Empire. Humans continued to dwell in the Eyelade-ruled areas of Cyrodiil, but there is nothing definite to show under what terms. This was an uneasy relationship from the beginning and was not destined to last long. Resentment at the continued presence of Eyelade nobles within the empire was a contributing factor to the rise of the so-called Alessian order founded by Maruk. The first victims of the Elysians were the Eyelades of Cyrodiil. In the early 300s, the surviving Eyelade communities in human-ruled areas were obliterated one by one, the refugees temporarily swelling the power of the remaining Eyelade lordships. Then in 361, the Elysians gained control of the empire and enforced the Elysian doctrines, oh my god, I cannot talk today, throughout its domain. The Eyelade lordships were abolished. Enforcement of this decree does not appear to have required much direct violence. It seems that by this point, The balance of power was so overwhelmingly against them, and their fate so long foreshadowed, that most of the remaining Islades simply left Cyrodiil, eventually being absorbed into the elven populations of Valenwood and High Rock. Indeed, the rise of the... Oh my god, this goes on. The rise of the Durrani hegemony, whatever, may be linked to this exodus of Islades from Cyrodiil, a connection so far little studied by historians. Still, a remnant Islade population seems to have survived the rule of the Ilesians, because we hear of the last king of the Islades joining the Battle of Glenumbria Moors, where the Durranists decisively defeated the Ilesians in 482. Oh god. How this king's people survived the preceding century is unknown. We do not even know who they were, although recent research points to Ninalta, I think, as the possible resting place of this last king. Unfortunately, in the current state of the Empire, funds are no longer available for proper scientific investigation of such extensive ruins, so the answer to these questions will have to be left to future generations. What the heck does that have to do with what's going on downstairs? I don't remember ever talking about whatever an eyelid is, or eyelids. It could be eyelids at this point, I don't know. I have no idea. Help me understand.
May your next fight bring you victory, friend.
Oh, that's nice. He's being nice to me.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
Never mind. Here are the books that went missing.
Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece. Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant.
Okay.
Night of Tears, eh? I remember this one. Well, isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself?
Yes, I did.
If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir. And here. I suppose you've earned these.
What the heck? Started good intentions. Okay, thank you.
Until next time.
What did you get me? Things that can teach me stuff, probably? Yep. Okay, let's start from the top. So there's this one. Something I already read. So I'll just put that in my book. Catalog of weapon enhancements. Yay! Daughter of the Nibbin. Yay! Racial phylogeny. Sweet. Response to Barrow's speech. Apparently I've already read that. Black Arts on Trial. Yay. Okay, thank you. Ready to go? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? Sleep with Toldir. Okay. That was hard to read that. All these words. Okay. So, yeah. I see you brought that thing. I don't know how you brought that thing. How did you bring that thing? I don't know how you would be able to bring that. Hi.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope.
Urag suggested I come see you.
Did he now? Does he have information about our wonderful discovery?
I found a certain book, Night of Tears.
Is that the one about something buried beneath Sarthal?
Yeah.
Something that men and Mare fought over?
Yeah.
I'll have to make a point of rereading it. I don't recall the details. I just can't seem to tear myself away. Whatever this is, its beauty is like nothing I've ever seen before. If you'd allow me to indulge myself for a moment, I thought I might make a few observations. I'm sure you've already noticed the markings. They're quite unlike anything we've seen before.
Yeah.
Eliad, Gwema, Daedric, not even Falmer. None of them are a match. Quite curious indeed. Now, I'm not sure that you're quite as attuned as I am, given my extensive years of experience, but can you feel that? This marvelous object, it practically radiates magicka, and yet it's unlike
that's
anything
fine.
I've felt before. Archmage Aaron is already hard at work, and hopefully we'll have more information soon.
I'm afraid I must
No,
intrude. It is urgent that I speak with your associate immediately.
This is most inappropriate. We're involved in serious research here.
Yes, I've no doubt of its gravity. This, however, is a matter that cannot wait.
Well, I'm quite sure I've never been interrupted like this before. The audacity. I suppose we'll continue this at some later time, when we can avoid interruptions.
I need you to come with me immediately. Let's go.
What's going on?
Really? Well, allow me to clarify the situation. I'd like to know why there's someone claiming to be from the Psijic Order here in the college. More importantly, I'd like to know why he's asking for you, specifically.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to go have a little chat with him and find out exactly what it is he wants.
Yeah?
You're not on the internet, are you?
No, I'm not.
Can you find our account information, or who, what it, I need the account information, excuse me.
I don't really know, but okay, hold on.
Probably your mother's name, but check with her and see what.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to continue this later, guys. See ya.